Things are getting officially weird for Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Stick around. This is Way Offsides. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. Poor planning on my part. I wore a blue shirt. So ignore all this. But anyway, stick with me. There's something crazy going on in the world of college football right now that normally we wouldn't touch on, but it's a bonkers story. It's weird, a lot of twists and turns. As most of you know, famed New England Patriots head coach, Super Bowl winning absolute legend, possibly the greatest to ever do it, Bill Belichick, stepped away from the Patriots and for whatever reason took the head coaching job at North Carolina. Now, the new head coach has been pretty quiet. There's not been a lot said to his nature. He's a very quiet, usually secluded dude, very gruff, very straightforward. Kind of, Nick Saban, that old school. But what's interesting about Bill Belichick is what's most interesting about him is not that he used to coach Tom Brady. It's not that he's won Super Bowls. It's not that he's even now a college head coach. It's that he has a girlfriend, Miss Jordon Hudson, who is 24 years old. A little weird, but whatever. That's fine, to each their own. We can get past that. The fact that Bill Belichick is 73 dating a 24-year-old, so be it. All right, let's just set that aside for now. Now, this story gets weird outside of that weirdness in its sense that Belichick recently did an interview with CBS Mornings, and it aired last Sunday. And he was asked a series of questions, and he was doing a good job. I felt like answering them. It was a little uncomfortable, but that's Belichick's nature, right? But they asked a question very quickly, about his relationship with Jordon Hudson and how they met. Before Belichick could even get an answer off, she piped up quickly from the corner and pretty much said, "We're not talking about this," with a scowl on her face. She looked pretty grumpy about the question. Obviously, Belichick did not answer. It was weird. It was very, very weird. Now Belichick was doing this interview with CBS. I think the correspondent, I can't remember, but anyway, is promoting. He's got a biography coming out called "The Art of Winning: Lessons from My Life in Football." Right? It comes out next month. We're not promoting that. I'm just telling you. A lot of these greats do that, and so he's promoting, touring, talking about this. But alongside him is this 24-year-old girlfriend. Now, we've already seen the weirdness with the fishing photos, her dressed up like a mermaid, Belichick in fishing attire, fishing her out of the ocean. We've seen that already on social media. That was brought up in this interview. They played it off as very cute. I thought it was awkward. To see Bill Belichick dressed up like a fisherman, catching a half-naked, fully grown woman who's a mermaid. That was a weird thing to see. This this decade's been weird. It's just been weird. Belichick, he's not typically the type of person who worries about what everybody else thinks. He said that in the interview, but shortly after that, he was asked about how Hudson and Belichick met, and she quickly, we're not talking about this. And it's just weird how off-putting it was and how aggressive she was when she said it, how unhappy she looked. And you could blame that maybe on immaturity, this or that. But the bigger problem here is that some people feel like this is her way of managing Bill Belichick, managing his career, how he's handling the media. Look, the guy doesn't necessarily need to be media trained. He's been dealing with the media for a long time, not great at it. There was that very grumpy Nick Saban approach from him for a long time. But maybe that's what they're working on with Belichick. Maybe they're working on getting him more accustomed to speaking to the media in a more pleasant way, in a more interactive and a more engaging way. But this would have been a great opportunity to do that. And instead, his infant girlfriend cut him off. And it's got a lot of people thinking, like, oh, is she managing Belichick? Like, she's been seen on practice fields during spring game, things like that. Like, not just on the sidelines, like actually on the field. What's going on with this relationship? It's very, very strange. It's very off-putting, and for some people, probably Carolina fans, it's uncomfortable. You don't want all that outside noise around your program, especially when you've got a guy in there like Bill Belichick, who folks want to go play for. North Carolina historically is not a great recruiting team, but they've made a little bit of noise so far this cycle because of Bill Belichick. Well, it got a lot of people wondering, like I said, what's going on? But more interestingly is that North Carolina themselves addressed these rumors. Now, these rumors are coming from people like me who aren't really, I didn't start the rumor. I'm saying people who share a platform like I do, who have no in to North Carolina, who aren't related to the situation. It's just an outside observance of what's going on about her managing him. But North Carolina felt so aggravated, maybe so oppressed by those rumors and these comments that are starting to gain some tread on social media, that they addressed it. They came out and addressed it. She's not his manager, blah, blah, blah. The rumors are untrue. Right. Why though? Why did a brand, and North Carolina, maybe not in football, but North Carolina is a recognizable brand around the world, especially in basketball. So, but that bleeds over into the entire athletic department. Why do they feel the need to address that rumor that's just being spouted off by talking heads on social media? I find that incredibly interesting and awkward at the same time. And maybe with a dash of intrigue, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna play the age game. It's weird. It is weird that a 73-year-old is dating a 24-year-old. Typically in those situations, everybody points to money. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Maybe they actually found true love. Maybe she really is Bill Belichick's once in a lifetime catch. The mermaid he's scanned the horizons for his whole life. Maybe that's what's going on here. And she's just trying in her heart of hearts, out of her adoration and her reverence and her pure, infatuated love for him, she's trying to protect him. People don't need to know about the inner workings of their relationship. And in that way, she's absolutely right. I don't need to know how Bill Belichick met this chick. I don't personally care, but it's trending, so I'm talking about it in a video. But the way she's gone about it, being ever present, almost hovering as he goes on this tour for his biography, over practices, things like that, it's starting to rub people the wrong way. And it gives off a really weird look, especially when it's a guy like Bill Belichick who's allowing it to happen, because he's always come off as like a no BS, no nonsense type guy. Maybe we just don't know Bill Belichick. I'd be interested to hear some players' reactions to this, specifically Rob Gronkowski, because I'm sure it'd be hilarious. But understanding what's going on, it's weird. It's so off-putting that it's created this elaborate story where people want to talk about it, because it is weird. It's very out of pocket and out of character for the Belichick that we knew at the Patriots compared to what we're seeing out of him at North Carolina. But tell me what you think. Like, I mean, why would she not want people to know how they met? Why was that question the catalyst for her being snappy and almost shutting down the interview? Why was it that? Is there some weird arrangement that's gone on how they met? Did they meet under not so great circumstances? Is it something that would embarrass him, embarrass her? Is Belichick in one of those parlors with Robert Kraft? She was the masseuse. You know what I'm saying? Just asking. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm asking the question. Like, what's going on here? Like, why would it be weird? As always, leave a comment. Tell us how we're doing. We absolutely love you guys. Until next time. I can't even say it with a straight face. I forgot the music. That's okay. Until next time, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll damn Tide.